Assalamualaikum and Salam Sejahtera, ladies and gentlemen. I am here representing my other fellow colleagues, presenting a research title exploring the influence of destination authenticity on tourist satisfaction and behavioral intentions in Penang, Malaysia. My name is Irina Mohd Akhir, and on behalf of the authors, we're specially presenting this particular study paper for the third Penang International Conference on Hospitality 2023 with the theme Sustainability, Recovery and Resilience, Strengthening the Hospitality and Tourism Industry through Sustainable Development Goals. Our research title investigates the factor that motivate tourists to choose Penang, which is one of the Malaysia's top 5 travel destinations, and examines their satisfaction level with the supporting services offered. This study actually would like to explore the relationship among all the variables and the presentation of our study will proceed according to the presentation outlined here. The research introduction part is going to start with the research background and some of the background where the need for the research on the local tourists in Penang arises. This is where we outlined you the importance of the objective and the significance of our study for the implications of the educations and also the hotel and travel industry, especially in the era of COVID-19. Penang has always been an internationally and locally renowned tourist destination. This may be due to the diversity of Penang tourist attractions, which include beaches, forests, museums, among others. Even so, Penang have experienced a negative growth local tourists by negative 42.2% in 2020. This is where the focal of our study due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, according to Penang Institute 2021. Consequently, in order to revitalize the state's tourism industry, it is stated that the Penang government is aiming to emphasize on more towards the domestic tourism, which include the local tourists as a target market for the tourism industry in Penang, according to Malay Mail 2021, where they recognizing the importance of understanding the targeted tourist behavioral intention that's seen as critical to the health of any tourism destinations, which is spotted by Wi-Fi and Naria 2008. This study highlighted the need to be well informed of the driving forces behind local tourist behavior and the local tourist decisions in order to effectively help in merchandising the tourism destinations in Penang. Tourists to choose Penang as a destination and to examine satisfaction level with the supporting services offered, and also to explore the relationship and association strength between the variables. Our study has made significant contributions to practical knowledge on the critical role played by push and pull motivation. And the finding can be used to provide valuable recommendation to tourism businesses in the development of tourism strategy and plan. This research is particularly relevant to tourism management company, especially in Penang, as it helps to determine the tourist behavior, tourist motivation relationship, satisfaction level, and revisit intention. In addition, this study can be future research reference in providing information on tourist motivation and satisfactions. We are looking toward disseminating these results and the findings of our study from this investigation on tourist motivation and satisfaction that could and would be used as a resource by academics across Malaysia or even more internationally. one of the purpose what we present in page to 2023 conference. I'm going to outline some of the literature reviews where we're going to touch you on tourist motivation, tourist satisfaction, revisit intention, where a person is driven to execute specific behavior in order to feel the desired fulfillment according to Burley and Martin. That is definitions of motivation. Researchers confirm that recognizing the driving forces behind pushing and pulling can elevate a destination competitiveness and appeal. For instance, Ou et al. 1995 assert that understanding the push and pull determinants and how they interact will aid in promoting or promotions of tourism destinations more effectively. Therefore, we choose to study on motivations for our study. Push motivation refer to social psychological demand associated with internal motivation, whereas draw motivation is external motivation and associated with the attractiveness and distinctive quality of the destination. These forces would explain how individuals are attracted by external influences and propelled by internal forces when making a travel decisions. This is supported by Ussel and Hagen, 1994. Therefore, it is generally acknowledged based on preliminary research. The study of traveler behavior have predominantly employed a push and pull motivation model and recognizing the discovery. And our study is one of it. Some literature for satisfactions that we would like to highlight is by Al-Batat Ahmad that confirming, according to the definitions of satisfaction, customer satisfaction is the extent to which tourists believe the product and services they receive meet their requirement. Satisfaction also be regarded as comprehensive evaluation of performance based on the tourist's prior experience. In essence, effective destination marketing places a high priority on visitor satisfaction because it affects how much people will spend on the product and services, whether they want to return, and where they choose to travel. While on revisit intention, Haskett et al. 97, concurring that behavioral intention can be defined as the opinion of other significant individual that influence person's decision. Positive behavioral intentions are typically correlated with favorable perceptions of a destination among visitors. Additionally, positive attitudes influence visitors' intention to select or return to a destination. This is confirmed also by Huang and Su in 2009. Well, numerous model and research findings indicate that the purpose of tourist visit is not straightforward concept. However, according to Zhao Shan and Zhan 2020, achieving their objective also will motivate them to return to the same location, even so, and take another vacation at the same place. The desire of visitors to return is therefore one of fundamental methods that suggested to be probed deeper by our study and by other authorities of tourist destination, especially to the effects of post-pandemic situation. Moving on, introducing you to the design and methods that we use for this study. A quantitative research method was employed for study and a set of questionnaire was distributed. The survey instrument explores tourist demographic, tourist motivation, tourist satisfactions, and intention for the local tourists to revisit through an online survey due to COVID-19 pandemic at that time, with a sample of in total 385 respondents. This study is quantitative while the analysis employ mathematical and statistical modeling and measurement to understand research patterns and behavior. For this study, participants received questionnaires. The survey instrument used by previous researcher was modified and adapted for this investigation. In three studies that we propped into, our instrument was chosen based on the study purpose and our questions. The study questionnaire has four sections: tourist demographic, motivation, satisfactions, and return intention is the last part. Investigation inspired the first and second component of the research instrument by Pada and Nari 2008. It inspired the first sections of tourist demographic, including gender, age, education, marital status, and ethnicity, the normal general demographic survey. Tourist motivation is built by push and pull tourist motivation determinants, while the third portion was based on tourist satisfaction and tourism locations, supporting services, adapted and inspired by Sebastian and Felix 2009. While the final portions was changed to include passengers' return intentions to Penang, adapted from He and Luo 2020. Every item and criterion was checked to verify the survey meets the purpose. A 5 Likert point scale was used to measure visitors' motivation. Okay. Due to the pandemic, a Google form was used, as mentioned before, and was distributed to 385 respondents, represents 5061,000 Penang local visitors with 95% confidence level. Local tourists then were identified based on 2021 Malaysian Department of Statistics report to guarantee construct validity, reliability, normality analysis, and were performed on all measures. This study also used Freeman correlations analysis to examine site variable connections to determine the study rated strengths and directions of relationship hypothesis. This study tested three hypotheses. Inferential analysis was adopted and conducted to analyze this hypothesis to get better overview of Penang local tourist behavior and intention perspective during COVID-19 era. We have come to the phase of research finding. Pilot testing was conducted for this research to ascertain the reliability of the questionnaire that was intended for distribution to target respondents. Selected 30 participants for this research pilot testing. Most data applicability and consistency tests used Kelompok Alpha following RACWIP 2001. The survey concept used lighted scale questionnaire to assess questionnaire, as mentioned before, for reliability. In Table 1 in our research manifests the statistical data indicating the Kelompok Alpha result that was found every single one to be higher than 0.7, revealing a satisfactory indicator for reliability status. Normality tests were utilized to determine whether or not the sample data reflect normal distributions. The Agostino K2 test was utilized onto the collected responses as the sample size was greater than 50, while the skewness and kurtosis of the respective respondent were made efficiently calculated in the analysis process. In our study, reveals that all of the obtained data are abnormally distributed. Surprisingly, where they are evading the rule of thumb where all data identified to be exhibit p-value of 0.000, which is less than significant level of 0.05. Moving forward, in order to determine the relationship between the variables, a non-parametric analysis, Spearman correlation analysis, was conducted. In spite of the target objective, challengingly, the analysis exhibit lack in strength and hardly identified directions of association between rank variables was present in this study statistics. And mean analysis on push and pull motivation statistics. Table 3 for push motivations illustrate the analysis of mean value and their ranking for the enumerated push motivation attributes. It is essential to note that the push motivation attribute was ranked in descending order based on its mean value. The result indicating, however, travelling needs to feel safe and secure, with the mean value of 4.31 was rated as top push motivation among local tourists in Penang for this study. This demonstrates that a safe and secure tourist destination is vitally essential to Penang visitors. Cleanliness of the place is the most essential pull motivation among the respondents of the study, as indicated by its mean score of 4.386, indicating that it is the least crucial pull motivation for this study. Moving forward to Table 5, exhibiting the tourist satisfaction, demonstrate that all survey tourist satisfaction fall between high scale indicator. All are between 3.67 and 5. Compare frequency proportions of all attributes to summarize the high scale. The main statistic for the survey of revisit intention illustrate Penang tourists' mean return intention. I intend to revisit Penang to explore more tourism destination in Penang have the highest value of 4.37 when correlation coefficient is measured of the monotonic relationship between paired data. Using the following guide for the absolute value of R, one can characterize the correlation strength. This analysis was used to examine associations between push and pull motivations and tourist satisfactions for hypothesis 1 and 2. Our table 9 exhibit a weak positive link between visitor satisfaction and independent variable push and pull motivations. A weak but still positive link, therefore the hypothesis 1 and 2 are supported. While the third hypothesis is confirmed, where the table show a moderately favorable link between visitor satisfactions and intention to return. All the findings suggest that push and pull motivation are critical factors in influencing tourist choices when selecting a travel destination. Having outlined and highlighted all the findings to you, we have come up to the conclusions and research gap. The reason for visiting Penang, according to research, were the opportunity to travel and feel safe. It is concluded that visitors' perceptions of environmental and physical security are major push factor in choosing venue for vacations. For them to choose the destination to Penang. Visitors visiting Penang are now looking for safer vacation options. As a result, Penang Airlines, shopper services, tour operators, and hotels all suggested to tighten up their security measures. The quality of tourist site was directly related to its level of safety. If they can guarantee the safety of their guests, tourist hotspot may find success. In the study, the tourist satisfaction reflects favorable score. Motivated tourists report higher level of happiness due to satisfaction. According to this research, were identified prone to revisit intention. These two factors, whether they use push or draw or pull, are marginally positively related. There was a moderate connection between happy tourists and those who plan to come back to explore more tourism experiences in Penang. The relationship analysis in this study reveals some association between all the variables and all hypotheses somehow supported. The supported hypothesis guiding the ideas of push and pull factor of Penang attractions are concerned for successful of Penang tourist satisfaction and revisiting Penang. Hence, to look further to other geographical perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, that presented to you a study on exploring the influence of destination authenticity on tourist satisfaction and behavioral intention in Penang, Malaysia. Thank you. for being with us throughout the presentations, and let us together embrace for the area of sustainable city and communities, supporting the third Penang International Conference on Hospitality in the year 2023, supporting